Hey guys, welcome to Code Decode. So in the last video we have discussed about two-sum problem, and in this video we are going to discuss about one of the most common coding interview questions which was even asked in Google, Facebook, Netflix and many other giant MNCs, that is buy and sell stock. So let's get started. So let me first read question for you. Say you have an array for which the ith element is the price of the given stock on day I. If you are only permitted to complete at most one transaction, that is buy one and sell one share of the stock, design an algorithm to find the maximum profit. Note that you cannot sell a stock before you buy one. So basically we have given an array of input of integer, and the index of these arrays are the days. So for example, 0th index are the day 1, first index are the day 2, third index are the day 3 and so on, and the values on this index are the prices of the stock. For example, on the day 1 the price of the stock is 7 rupees, on day 2 the price of the stock is 1 rupees, on day 3 the price of the stock is 5 rupees and so on. So what we have to do is we have to purchase the stock on its minimum price and we have to sell the stock on its maximum price in order to gain the maximum profit. For example, if we will purchase the stock on the day 2, that is at the price of rupees 1, and if we will sell the stock on day 5, that is at the price of rupees 6, so our output would be 5. So we have to design an algorithm. So basically we have to design a function and we have to return this output. So let's start coding. So we will going to return the profit, and the profit would be a number, so return type would be an integer. Function name would be buy sell stock. You can take any name. Arguments would be int, integer array of prices. I'm taking the name prices here, prices of the stock. Okay, so there are two approaches to solve this problem. The first approach is using the for loop, and the second approach is using the recursion. I'm covering only the for loop part here. If you want me to cover the recursion as well, so please let me know in the comment section. Okay, so now we are writing the for loop. Int I equal to 0, int I less than prices dot length I plus plus. Okay, so perfect. So I'm not starting the loop from the very first index. I'm starting from the second index, that is the index 1. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to first find the minimum price at which we have to buy the stock. So there are many approaches to find the minimum minimum price of the stock, but what I am doing here is I am comparing these two values, that is I am comparing the 7 and 1, and I am storing the minimum value. Then I will going to compare the 1 and 5, then I will store the minimum value. Then I am going to compare this 5 and 3, then I will store the minimum value. Okay, so how we can do this? So first let's assume that integer minimum price so far, I'm going to name the variable as minimum price so far is uh, the price of the stock at very first day. Okay, so basically this is the reason why I am iterating the loop from the first index, not from the 0th index. Okay, I hope this point is clear. If this point is not clear, please let me know in the comment section. Okay, so basically what I have to do is I have to compare this two values, and I have to store the minimum value. Then I have to compare this minimum value and the third value, and then I have to store the minimum value. So how we can do this? We can do this either by if else, or we have one Java library called math library. We can use the function of that math library called minimum. So I'm going to use that function. So math dot minimum, and I'm comparing the minimum price so far and the current value, that is prices I. Okay. So I have already compared. Now I have to assign this minimum price to this variable, because while iterating the loop we have to update our minimum price. then only we are going to get our minimum value of the stock by the end of this iteration. Okay, so by the end of this iteration we will get our minimum price. Let's check it. Let's say buy sell stock by BSS equal to new BSS dot buy sell stock, and I'm going to pass this integer. Okay, I have to create int prices equal to this. Oh, this is an array. Now prices. Okay, and I'm going to return minimum. Okay, let's call it in system.out.println. Okay, so let's check whether we are getting our minimum price or not. I'm going to save it and I'm going to run as Java application. Okay, so we got our minimum price. Okay, so let's change this array as 8. So in this condition our minimum price of the stock would be 3. So let's check this. So here is 3. Okay, but this is not our motive. Our motive is to find the profit, so we have to calculate the profit. We don't have to calculate the minimum price. Okay, so how we can calculate the profit? Okay, so now we have the minimum price, and let's say initially our profit would be 0. So int calculated profit so far. Yes, that's right. That's my name of the variable, calculated profit so far. Okay, so now what we have to do is in each iteration we have to compare this calculated profit with the values, the what we can say, the difference of the values. So let me show you how we can do this. So calculated profit so far is equal to, again we are going to use the math library, math dot. Now in this case we have to use the max function because we have to find the maximum profit. Like while finding the minimum price of the stock we have used the minimum, but here we have to use the max function. Calculated profit so far, we have to compare the calculated profit and the difference of the values. What are the values? Our first values would be prices, that is the price of the current stock, that is the price of the current stock minus the minimum values, because that's how we will calculate the profit of the current iteration, right? I hope this point is clear. Okay. So I think now we have to return this. So I think our problem is solved. Let me explain this for loop once again to you. This is the calculated profit. Okay, in the first iteration we will stand on day 2, right? Yes, in the first iteration we will stand on day 2, that is the price of the stock is ₹1 and the minimum price of the stock is minimum price so far is ₹7. So our calculated profit initially was 0, so we are comparing 0 comma prices of the I, that is 1 minus 7, so minus 6. So we are calculating, we are calculating we are comparing 1 comma minus 6. Okay. So sorry, here we are comparing 1 comma minus 6, so our maximum value would be 0. So our calculated profit so far is 0. Okay, and in the line number 36 we are calculating the minimum price so far and the current value of the iteration. So minimum price so far is 7, because we have assumed that our first value of the array is minimum price. So 7, we are comparing 7 comma 1, so we have to take the minimum. So in 7 comma 1 the minimum is 1, so minimum price so far is 1. So in the second iteration what we got is minimum value is equal to 1, profit is still 0. Okay. So in the second iteration, we will stand on day 3 and we are comparing the minimum value, that is 1 and 5. Okay. So in the line number 35, our calculated profit is 0. Price is I, that is 5, minus minimum price so far is 1. So 1 minus 5 is 4. Okay. And we are comparing 0 comma 4. So maximum value here is 4. So our calculated profit so far is 4. And again we will compare on line number 36 is 1 comma 5. So by default the minimum value would be 1. Okay. So here our calculated profit so far is 4 and minimum value would be 1. On a day 4, our calculated profit so far is 4. So we will compare 4 comma, the current price would be 3 and we will minus it with 1. So 3 minus 1 is 2. So again the profit would be 4 and the minimum value will remain 1 only. Okay. So till the index, in the fifth iteration, that is on the day 1 2 3 4 5, on the day 5 we will stand on value 6 and here our profit would be like again 4, but here the difference would be 6 minus 1, that is 5. So from the from 4 and 5, 5 is the highest, so this function will return the 5 as the maximum profit and the minimum value would be 1 again. So let's check it. If we will buy the stock at this point of time, if we will sell on this point of time, our profit would be 5. So let's run this. Okay, so we got our profit 5. Okay, so our problem is almost completed, but we have to put one check here. And the check is, you can see that our array is of size 6. But what happen if our array is of size 1? So in this case we don't have anything to compare, right? We don't have anything to, like, we have the only one value to buy and we have only one value to sell. So if you'll buy on 3 and if you'll sell on 3, the profit would be 0. So we have to put one check. So if prices dot length is greater than, sorry, so okay, is less than 2, then we have to return 0 because that's our profit. So let's check it. Okay, so this is 0. And what if my array would like this? So in this case our profit would be 1. Okay, what if I will like purchase the stock in and I will sell this. I have array like this 4 comma 2 comma 1. What would happen in this case? In this case also my ultimate profit would be 0. Okay, because if I'll buy the stock on rupees 4, I have to sell it on 2 and 1, and if I'll buy the stock on rupees 2, I have to sell on 1. Okay, so let's take another example. Let's say 3 comma 5 comma 2 comma 1. What would happen in this case? So the profit would be 2 because I have bought the stock on rupees 3 and I have sold the stock on rupees 5. Okay guys, so that's it for today's video. If you want me to cover the recursion part of this video as well, please let me know in the comment section. Bye bye.